All right. Hello, everyone. Hello, everyone. How we doing?
Great.
I'm going to use the mic. All right. It's like 20 degrees cooler than it was a couple of months ago, and I'm loving that. But there's still some temperature we could be losing. Everybody having a good time at the session so far?
Yeah.
All right. What session did you guys go to that you like so far? I went to the AI one. It was great. Who went to Kurt's? Who's got my money? All right. All right. How was it? He's not here to defend himself, so we can say what we'd like.
Sacks of cash.
He would hand out sacks of cash.
Yeah.
I've been waiting for that day. Of course I miss it. So, Mr. Copeland, who's bravely and consistently kept us going for a while, has passed the torch, and so I'm here. Not to worry, it's just another Josh. Joshes are all the same. We've got 3 great presentations today. I'm going to say great. They can start that way. If it's not great, we can let them disappoint us. The first one's going to be Tango Reef with Michael Erickson. Then we have Jonathan Craig, who always looks snazzy. He's got a white shirt and a tie and a vest. So that's pretty cool, with Nexus Arcana. And then Alex Lazarenko.
Yeah, correct.
Correct. I pronounced it correct. With Horizon Works. So for those that don't know, Demo Time is a place where, yes, you can present a polished product, or it can be a less polished product, or all sorts of different things. The important thing is that, Josh Levitt, who's the CEO and founder of Tech Alley here, he wants there to be a space for folks to be able to share what they're working on and have it be a fairly encouraging and supportive environment. So with that, does anyone raise your hand if you want to present something next month or the month after that? Okay, great. So contact me, I guess, or there's also the Meetup page that has a contact form. The guy that's really leading the charge on this, his name is Gabriel, and he's busy today because his sister's going to school, so he's helping see her off. But he's a great guy. He helped coordinate all of this. And so the format that we're going to do on this, at some point while they're presenting, I'm going to start clapping. Raise your hands if when I start clapping, what I think you should do. Do you know? Oh, is it clapping? It's clapping. All right, can we practice? Can we get a big clap? Okay, that's good. That's good. That's good. So that's how these people will know they're done. Now, they might be talking still. That's fine. We can still clap. And then there will be some question and answers. And then after the question and answers, more clapping, and then the next person. So we're running ahead of... Oh, and then at the end, we're going to have a little bit of meet and greet. So we get done. You guys can all connect with each other. There's a broad mix of folks here. And so if you want to... come on in, guys. Come on in. We got lots of empty seats over on this side if you want. Or snuggle down there. All right, great. So last 20 minutes or so, it's just going to be meet and greet, chit chat, connect. And then without any further ado, Mr. Michael Erickson. Big round of applause. That does happen.
Hey everyone, how's it going? How's everyone doing?
Awesome.
All right. Did you guys like the food today? Yeah? How many people like beef? Like by a show of hands, okay. How many people like chicken? All right. What about fresh fruits and veggies and produce? Okay. So I'm Mike. I'm the COO of Tango Reef and also Taver. Taver is a nonprofit 501c3 organization in research and development, as well as Tango Reef, which is for profit. There's a need here in Las Vegas and in a globalized aspect to feed people. There's a need to improve security in reference to the Department of Homeland Security and DoD. There's a need in medicine, and looking for the right kind of innovations and the right kind of technology to allow that to happen requires a lot of know-how and a lot of talent. Tango Reef is a research and development organization. It is combining with Taver in a joint venture, which requires us to do 40% bare minimum nonprofit good works for all the communities that get involved. The thing is, in this environment and so many other environments, there are research and development organizations which have already existed and will exist, right? So the competition is fierce, and Blackfire is here. We're not competing against Blackfire. The whole aspect for what we want to do is to combine forces to help out the community and all civilizations. There's too many foul things afoot in multiple places, like starvation, right? So with starvation, food banks are out there. There are so many food banks that can't get what needs to be done actually done. And it's not necessarily the fault of the donations or the people who want to provide that. I know that 3 Square here in this area has around 137 different distribution sites that they're affiliated with. The R&D in order to improve the value for keeping food cold to homeless people, to people who are suffering and are impoverished, is absolutely necessary, because food spoils over 40 degrees Fahrenheit and under 140 degrees Fahrenheit. Here in the valley, it reaches over 100, right? So if the person can't get the adequate nutrition in the right amount of time, they are going to starve and die. And let's be honest, a lot of issues that happen with the homeless population here is that they're out here to make money quick, right? They're just like, go to the casino, let's gamble, but that's the #1 tourist attraction here, so let's keep them here, right? But not let them do that thing where they're addicted to gambling to the point of struggling where they've struggled. Because let's get real, it's pretty nasty out there when you do come across some people who are down in the gutter and need food and have addictions and need to get out of that pattern in order to find safety, right? So that's one of our ambitions, and that's in the nonprofit sector. It's to improve the technology to keep the refrigeration and the deployment for food that's donated by the grocery stores here and other sources like the casinos to the food banks to be distributed so they don't die. Other things that we do are empower free speech, but also restrain the bad stuff, such as child pornography. That's a terrible, terrible endemic here. Other than child pornography, there's non-consensual pornography. So the real struggle is, this is the United States. It's the First Amendment. That applies. People have a right to say what they want to say, and Section 230 allows that. This is CDA, which is the penultimate thing to allow. It needs to be amended. It's the penultimate thing that needs to be fixed. It's daunting, especially with artificial intelligence out there now. Before, the technologies were different. Now, with explainable AI and governable AI, it's hard. It's very difficult for some people to stay on top, to prevent these atrocious things from happening. People do get convicted, right? Then they get expungements and they get things sealed. And that's the nature of law. But if people are out there on the internet bullying other people to the point of reducing them down to like, I don't want to live anymore, or other mental illness, there's a massive problem because the law applies. Ethics precedes law in most cases. So when ethics is violated, when ethics are violated, I should say, the law takes effect. But it's just like the Rumsfeld matrix. You have two variables. It's either ethical or unethical. It's lawful or unlawful. So you have the four outcomes. And determining where we need to go in society to empower people with free speech, to allow FOIA, the Freedom of Information Act, to take effect, to say, hey, so-and-so is doing this thing, so-and-so needs help. Or maybe it's so-and-so, the other person, needs help from that other person. So when it comes to marketing and journalism, I'm wondering how many people want to believe what's out there in news right now? Okay, that's what I was expecting. Almost no one, because there are so many cover stories, right? In order to protect people, and the covering of those stories happen mostly because people want to rush and they want to go out and they want to say, like, hey, do you know what happened here? And then they're like, so-and-so absolutely knew what happened, when so-and-so didn't know what happened because the other person has the actual facts. But they were the first on the scene, and they're like, give me the scoop. And then they rush it over to the people that they work with, and they're like, publish this, quick, right now. Not always right, because they want to be the first. They don't want to slow down. They need to slow down. They need to know how to say what is true, right? So Tango Reef is looking for volunteers. We are in our infancy. We are looking for early stage investors. We are hoping to compete against Silicon Valley organizations and those with Ivy League degrees, as well as work with those with Ivy League degrees. We know there's a problem, and this problem can be fixed with enough research and development, and making sure that the population is safe, mentally well, healthy, fed, is the most appropriate thing and actions to happen. So it will bring more peace to the children that people have. It will give better opportunities to not let nation-state terrorism to occur, because those threat actors are really really out there, right? And what we're seeking to do is to bring truth out. Aver means to speak truth, and that's where the name Taver came from. It's the time to speak truth. Thank you.
Got any questions for our good friend here?
I do.
Yes.
So I missed the first part. So can you tell me in 3 actionable steps, how are you doing that?
How I'm doing this? Through development.
What kind of development?
Information technology, through programming, through contacting organizations like the Nevada Center for the Blind, by doing the research in order to discover
Liken
what
it
needs to be.
Another entity, so I can compare the similarity. Who's doing something like you're doing?
I see that there are people who are doing similar things, but not the same.
Sure.
So
What's the common denominator?
the common denominator is research and development in order to
name of
build,
the company.
provide the name of the company.
Yeah.
Let's say CAE,
CAE.
a defense contractor,
Okay.
and
The second deliverable?
the second deliverable in reference to what
How are you
was.
going to, I heard you say you want to do world peace. I actually have a solution, an itemized solution, so I'm really excited to help you because it sounds like you and I are on the same page. So I'm looking at how are you, what exactly, because I missed it, I apologize, but it'd be nice for the whole audience to hear 3 things that you're going to do and how are you going to do it?
Well, it's to allow everyone to work together, right? And how? Through promoting culture, through human flourishing.
And how are you going to do that?
How? Well, finding the right people
Do you have
to
a
work together.
platform?
Do I have a platform? As in
Space for that.
of space.
A space to facilitate that.
A physical structure or online, both. At this time, there's no building that I work out of.
So we just got donated 2 square miles of land with water rights, so if we would donate a portion of this to you to scale up a solution, if you could give me deliverables, we could collaborate, we could showcase what you're doing. I just need to know 3 things that I would be helping you to do, to accomplish, and what you would need from me, and I don't know that I heard that. And I heard all the problems and the issues, but I didn't hear, and I wasn't here at the beginning, so what exactly are you doing, how are you doing it? Not what are you doing, but how are you doing it step by step, so I can see if there's a connection.
Right now, I'm the only person. I'm looking for people more than volunteers. I'm looking for people who can be employed as associates and co-founders. Okay, and being able to take action with Congress and the Senate is something that's necessary as well. It's really time to redo Section
How?
230.
Are you going to do it?
I'm not the politician.
No, you don't need to be a politician. In fact, I would recommend nobody do it until you can have a track record to prove your ability to problem solve, and then be a politician. But until then, there should be no politician running until they have a good track record solving the problems for the greater good. So
It's by having fun. It's by having
I
fun.
have a question. Michael, you talked about food banking. You talked about refrigeration, increasing the refrigeration. Do you have a product? Are you developing something specific to that you can talk about?
Not that I can talk about without a non-disclosure agreement. That's
Have you
something.
talked to the food banks?
I have personally volunteered at food banks, and I've interacted with them as well in other regards. Yes.
Are there any technologies that you can talk about today? Because I didn't really hear any specific technology or see a specific thing.
The specific technologies I want to say are not able to be discussed without signing a non-disclosure agreement. Get with me after, and I'll hand that to you, and we can talk.
Any last questions? Okay, let's hear it.
What areas of the community would you want to do this type of initiative, if you were to?
Well, it sounds like this female right here. She knows that there are 2 miles available somewhere. So.
But I mean, like in terms of what part of town?
What part of town?
What areas? Of
Like
town?
what areas would you be servicing? What are the,
Okay. Initially, we need to service and cater to the online community. Food is important as well, so it depends on how many. It's something I don't know. I don't know. It depends on how many people are there, so I don't know.
Thank you very much. Thank All right, so next up, we've got Jonathan with Nexus Arcana. He's a snazzy looking guy. He's got some great products. Let's clap for him. Everybody clap for Jonathan. So for those of you that don't know, I know Jonathan. And he knows me. And we're going to, I've talked to him about a lot of cool stuff he's done. Gabe set this up. I don't know what Nexus Arcana is. I probably should. But I will know soon. And all of us will know soon. So with that, when he's ready, I'll give him the mic. Same thing. We'll let him talk for a while. I'll start clapping. Then we'll all clap. Then he'll answer some questions. Then we'll all clap. And then it'll be the next person. It's a good system, isn't it? There we go. We like the clapping. Oh, he's got particle effects.
Particle effects?
Holy
Wait,
shit.
Let me refresh it.
I don't know if we were ready for particle effects. Oh!
The lasers come in. It's amazing.
Laser lights. And the X is bigger than the other letters.
So crazy. And it's not only is it bigger to the golden ratio.
Oh, all right. Here's your mic.
The what? Which one? The wave? This effect? Very physics related. This is. I hope this is good on sound. You got it? Okay, cool. Testing 1, 2. So I'm going to be demoing a product, but not to pitch it, but to kind of open up some ideas that people don't have yet about how AI can be infused into products rather than products being powered by AI, which I think is a really bad term. And everyone talks about AI this, AI that. So Nexus Arcana is something I decided to throw together. It started small, and it's a personality test that is infused with AI. And what that means, which I'll show you in a minute, what that means fundamentally is just that I got really bored one day, basically, and I was like, I hate personality tests, they're the worst, I'm gonna make my own. And I'm like, well, I do AI stuff, I do LLM stuff, why don't I just can I make a personality test that uses AI? And I was like, I'm gonna do it. So here we go, right? Let me make sure this actually, I hope this, please don't fail. Of course.
Internal error.
I know what it is. It's
Internal error.
yay, live demos. And that's because there's no internet now. It's okay. Whatever. Anyway, you saw the fancy part. This is the production version that looks like crap, but it's close enough. Okay, so log out here, and now that I'm stuck, oh no. It's totally gonna fail. Watch, it's gonna be the worst. Hence what? Please, oh God, that's not working.
I like the particle test.
Thank you. Me too. Me too.
Here we go. Intros. I'm feeling
Yeah.
already.
Delete session. Start over. Yeah, this is the version that does not have the cool fancy new logo that I made. I like it though. So yeah, now I'm gonna log on button. It was. I swear to God, I was working at home. I swear to God. Let's see if I can pick one that's not finished yet. Oh, that one's finished too. Great. Great. Yeah, maybe this one? Okay, good. This one's 85%. Yay. All right, so I'm going to return to this test. So in most personality tests, they're very boring because your question that you get is related to like your score that you know, very likely or very unlikely, very likely, 1 to 5. And that ranks you to, those points go to whatever's behind that question, which I think is boring. And so in this case, in Nexus Arcana, it's a new kind of personality test because the questions are all AI generated. The answers are AI generated. Your results are AI generated. Everything's AI generated. On the fly. And so this only works because of a point system underneath that I invented. So there's a rule-based point system that's not used in any personality test. By the way, this is for entertainment only. I should probably preface with that, just in case. When I say AI infused, what I mean is that the product's not, like it's not powered by AI. There's just a layer of infusion of interesting things that happen that the underlying system powered or helps get powered by a little bit, but you know, in an infused way. So in this case, let me go to the next one. this is one of the primary questions. So in an ancient library, you uncover a scroll depicting a lost civilization's wisdom. What do you feel, right? And so someone takes this test. It's like they pick whatever they feel. And let's just go, I don't know, someone pick one. First person.
Fascination, trepidation, and elation.
Okay, thank you. We picked this one. And then this gets fed into the next one, which is being generated on the fly. I'm going to go do a cool typewriter effect or something at some point, so that way it's neat. But this text that you see here is based on the first situation that you saw, or it should be. As you unroll the scroll, an intricate map appears, revealing the location of ancient artifacts rumored to hold the key to wisdom's lost, long forgotten. What do you do? And ignore the fact that this one sucks. You'll be asked the question of what do you do, and then you, as a test taker, you just pick what you want. These are being improved, by the way. These are the old ones. So you have the choice between carefully map out the artifact locations on a parchment, hoping to reveal ancient insights, or carefully study the map for potential connections between the artifact, blah, blah, blah. Pick someone. A? B. B, okay.
So it's like choose your own adventure, essentially.
Exactly, that's right. So I'll get to that. Ask me about that during the Q&A, and I'll give you a really good answer. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. You can go so far with this. This is incredible. Oh, I love it. Anyway, okay, so you might notice there's this Shadows of the Void. What does that mean? Because we have AI now, we have LLMs now, what this gives us is the ability to make shit up. And so this started off purely as taking the rules from the Big Five, taking the different personality traits and mapping magical celestial beings. And the Shadows of the Void is one of the celestial beings in this whole lore that was all invented by AI. I prompted it enough and got a bunch of cool sounding things. And I'm like, this actually works as a whole system of lore. This is great. And then that has turned into all of this, where as you go through this whole process, you'll eventually get to this end point where as the person who takes the tests, as like points are awarded behind the scenes, you will eventually get to a point where, yeah, this is definitely the old version. They're not supposed to be this long. I'm going to go ahead and go through all this very quickly and hopefully keep talking. Since we're at 93%, it'll get to, oh no, how many minutes do I have left? I'm so scared. What's going to happen? Watch, it's going to fail as soon as it gets to the results. I'll be so pissed. Yeah, like, that's right, yeah. Beep, boop, beep, boop. One of the things that people tend to ask is, well, what the hell are you going to do with this? Like, it's just a personality test, who cares? Yeah, there's a lot of personality tests out there, and they make a lot of money, right? I like money. And because this is entertainment-based and not clinical-based, it's fine for it to be based on the Big Five, and which gives it a lot of validity, I think, like in the way it feels. Everyone who's ever taken this test and then has read the results, they're like, oh my God, it's so me. That's so me. and that's cool and that's good. You want that. You want it to be a fun product that everyone loves, and that people want to take it again and again and again and to see what they get, because there we go. Of course, it's not going to, okay, good, it worked. It needs to have more cool animations so that we.
Because it worked.
Yay, yay. Hooray for working and stuff. So yeah, so fundamentally, there's some different concepts that are represented here that are going to be shown more to people, like these different names, like the Explorer, and what that even means. But in the case of, actually here, I'll find one that's really good. Where is celestial affinity? Here we go, this is perfect. The caregiver. The caregiver is related to, it's the avatar for trait agreeableness, I think? Something like that. You currently embody the traits of the caregiver by offering unwavering support and kindness to those in need. Your ability to listen deeply and respond with compassion enhances your relationships as you naturally create a safe space for others to express their vulnerabilities. If that's you, for real, this shit makes you cry. It's crazy. Like, I remember reading one that was actually me, and I'm like getting teary-eyed. I'm like, this is really good. And the goal for me is to take this very simple concept, turn it into a product, which I'm releasing it now, it's in beta now. And if anyone wants to take it, get a hold of me, and then you can take it for free. It won't always be for free, And that's the beauty of it, is that you can charge, because it's all about magic stuff. I can charge like $3.33, right? It's a good single price, and at that point, you can also allow people to buy multiple. You can put your engineering time into allowing people to buy multiple of these tests as passes or keys, and they can give them to their friends. And if it's very inexpensive and you get to the point, because everything's AI generated, you could take two people's tests and combine them and have an LLM do an analysis between them in any given way you want. It doesn't have to be real. It just has to be fun and interesting and entertaining. And there you go. So there you go. That's Nexus Arcana. Thank you.
Let's hear some wonderful questions, or okay questions.
Yeah, not bad questions. I don't want that shit.
No bad questions.
Yeah. Oh no. Oh my God, no.
I have a question, of course.
Sure. You're not allowed.
Yeah, always asking questions.
Sweet.
How many people have you tried this on? Was it completely accurate, and what was the basis off of feelings or data?
Oh, 5, maybe 4. No, more than 5. So not that many. It's early enough for me that my goal was to have something that I can just get right enough as a kind of simple product. Now, as far as like market viability and can this possibly go, paying for the research in order to like get clinical studies done would be great, and I would love to work with like the team that invented the Big Five and some other researchers in order to eventually get this to become even more studied, because it isn't just this, it's every other possible personality test that can ever be created, ever. And if that can be done, and we can use LLMs to help generate this to solve this problem, we can do a lot more with that. Does that make sense? I hope that answers the question.
You said not many 5, and that you're open to doing things that are more data-driven.
Yes, absolutely.
Just based off of the
Yeah,
off the data.
that's correct,
I'll
yeah.
help you with that.
Okay, I would love that.
Next week or next month, put a problem-solving.
Okay, yeah, that would be great.
Reality show together and might
Ooh.
get into that. So,
Reality shows are
And
fun.
I'm going to pat John on the back here. Come here. So a big part of demo time isn't necessarily, is this commercially viable? Where is your target market? Who's your...
No, I like people.
It's, I made the cool thing. Or I made the thing and it worked. Or I made the thing and it works sometimes.
It's got particles.
There's particles and lasers and a 500 error. That's
Look,
pretty
it's
cool.
it's cyberpunk.
So I think, I'm going to interject here on this just to point out, I think we can have a lot of great questions, and certainly if you're trying to commercialize something, there's a lot of certain questions we can ask. But I think it's really cool to be able to just dig in. I've known John for quite a while here. He loves technology and making things work. The monetization or whatever, like that's another stage of it, but like it's just play with the tech, right? So anyway.
Yeah, so are there different themes? Like this one, he had a sort of a magical Dungeons and Dragons.
Right, yes. Everyone loves this question, right? Because like, I built this because my friend Michelle was like, please take this test, please take this test. It's like Inogram or whatever it's called test. And I hated it because it was like way too flowery for me. And it was wrong. But I realized, I'm like, okay, that's actually really important for a personality test. It's very important for them to be like, to feel really good. But the next one that I want for myself is going to be violent. Not really violent, but like it's going to be aggressive. It's going to feel like an action movie. It's going to like put you into positions where that I would want to be in, where it's like you have to decide, and if you don't decide, someone's going to die, right? Like I want that kind of, I want to see how far you can take AI for that way, because like maybe it won't be for everybody, but where are the boundary conditions of what we can build with different themes? I'm sure there's going to be a science fiction. I also want a science fiction one. I want a Star Trek based one, right? I want to be on the bridge of a starship and be asked questions and then decide what kind of like personality I might be in, or what kind of rank I might have, whatever, something like that. Go ahead.
Walk us through,
Oh, sorry, no, behind you.
I was going to say, could you walk us through your tech stack a little bit, maybe why you made some of the decisions you made, the trade-offs you made in choosing certain technologies and others?
Yes, but I'll give you a quick answer, and then after, for sure, we won't spend more time on it because I don't want to get into the details. So Firebase for the hosting, for a lot of stuff. Svelte Kit for front end, and the API. OpenAI for all AI stuff.
It was Svelte Kit for the particle effects.
That's
We want to know where the particle,
particle
effects
effects.
came from.
Okay.
What is your particle effect stack?
GSAP.
GSAP.
Yeah,
Excellent.
I don't
Now we
recommend
know.
it unless you have a, like it makes my machine, it turns on, it activates the GPU.
Yeah, it does.
In the back.
I just, this is super cool, really well done. Love like all of the skills it took to put this
Thanks.
together. One thing that I really like about the skins is like how you can expand the audiences of people taking personality
Yeah.
tests. Like think about like engaging schools and giving
That's right.
teachers information on how
That's
kids
right.
learn. I think that's super impressive. So not really a question, just some.
Oh, thank you, I appreciate that.
Novus has a question.
I'll expand on that a little bit because this is where it gets really interesting. So I'm a huge nerd with Star Trek. Like I love the holodeck and I love the idea of holonovels and things like that, and the holographic doctor. And so I'm actually have another company, and we're working on building. It's a world-building co-pilot for narrative, like storytelling, right? And this is designed to facilitate the understanding of how to do that correctly and to hopefully ramp that forward. But these kinds of personality questions, this idea of using LLMs for personality, leads us, I believe very strongly, naturally to this point where personality can be a substrate of AI, right? Where if you're writing a novel and you've got characters or just any kind of story, and this is in the future, you've got characters, where are those characters, like, where are they going to get their personality if there's any kind of LLM involved or any kind of AI involved in the storytelling in the future, right? They have to get it from somewhere. And so there's a lot of lessons that I've been learning through building this feed into that greatly, because we want to be able to write stories where it becomes alive for real. Who's first?
Bruno.
Yes. So this is fucking amazing.
Thank you.
And like the cool factor is kind of through the roof. So what I'm kind of wondering is, it seems like it's a combination of like a choose your own adventure, but like a newer version of Oregon Trail. But my question is, can you essentially game this?
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, turn it into, so like if you have 5 friends that you can combine.
Yes, yep.
And you combine your powers
Yep.
to create like your own realm, like Middle Earth essentially.
You're talking about a part of world building that I think is going to expand naturally out of this idea of these like layers and like dimensions of information where it kind of like feeds up, feeds down. Yeah, so that's coming. That's coming. I give it a couple years. Yeah, no, it's coming. The next, so like, I would say that's like stage 3, maybe stage 4.
Okay.
It's very difficult. People are trying to build things like that, and it's. But the next stage is going to be. So this is simple in the fact that all of the rounds, there's a few different, there's like 30 rounds, and as you go through them, each round is an atomic piece, right? But in the next version of this that I want to have is like everything's connected. So as you do this personality test, you are going through an adventure that none of it's scripted, and everything feeds into the next one, the next question, and so you go on a journey, literally, where you go doesn't exist until you get there.
Will it be a new journey
Every time. The same thing with this. Same thing with this.
All right, we got 2 more questions and keep them short. We got a guy at the end, and then we'll
Go for it.
start with.
In your experience building this, do you think that in the future, as personality tests become more intelligent, it could be possible that that has more predictive power than purchasing history?
I think it's going to be a second layer of information. No, it's going to be a second layer of the storytelling that people actually are creating as they buy things, and our data that we have on purchasing things and what people are doing. It's a very flattened layer. Yes. It can tell us a lot, but there's going to be more dimensionality here, and I think this helps with the higher dimension stuff.
Exactly. I was thinking that if these personality tests become accurate, right? That can be very valuable information to third parties.
It's going to be important. This is a bit of an aside, but I think it's really important to say. It's going to be extraordinarily important that in the future that people own their own data personality-wise. Like, we're exploiting the shit out of everyone right now, right? And it's like, what I want people to actually be able to own that, and then maybe even earn something back, and I don't know how that works, but I think that would be great.
All right, we got one more question right there.
Yeah, you control this.
Yes, sir.
Please.
Awesome. Another tech stack question, just because this is really awesome.
Okay.
You're building this and you're experimenting with
Yeah.
AI. There's a lot of
Pieces.
variability in there. Yeah, exactly. Are you using anything like LangChain on the back end? Agent-based?
I kind of wrote my own.
You wrote your own?
Yeah, kind of. Like LangChain is more simple than everyone thinks it is. It just gets used. I'm like, that's all LangChain is? So I've already written one. so yes and no, but the technical details of the question that's underneath there, let's talk about it for sure.
Are you doing any like reviewing responses with another prompt?
Not as much as with this as the other things. So like more complex circumstances where you have to like really stay stable, that's required, but this is flat. Yeah.
Nexus Arcana, everybody.
Yeah, so come see me if you want to take the test, and I'll get your whatever, and we'll take care of that.
Your microphone, my man.
But I like it.
I know. And Ryan doesn't deserve it, but we'll let him have it back anyway. All right. That was pretty cool, huh? Right here in Vegas. Built right here in Vegas. Now, next we have Alex Lazarenko with HorizonWorks. Raise your hand if you've heard of HorizonWorks before. Alex, not good. One hand. One hand has heard of you before. But we're going to change that. You'll all have heard of him now. So I'll give him a mic, and we'll give it back to Ryan when we're done.
Okay.
No particle effects so far. Oh, there's a rocket. All right.
Why is the color so strange?
I like rockets.
Okay, so something is messed up with colors, but it's okay. I will give you a little bit of introduction to our company, and then we'll just show the product.
Speak up a little.
So basically, we specialize on sales automation, sustainability, and compliance and technological consulting solutions. We've been helping to fundraise different companies all across the globe, and then we understood that there is a need to get a reliable tool that helps you to automate your outreach, especially in LinkedIn, because we can see that conversion rates are pretty high. That's why we developed our own tool. This is a production tool already. We work with different companies all across the globe. Most of our customers are in Europe and the US now, but also getting more and more traction every month. How does it work? Works pretty simple. You collect your audience and then you launch social selling campaigns. This tool in particular is designed to work with emails and LinkedIn, and there is nothing about AI here. So this particular tool is built specifically to help you to reach out to person and make sure that your account is not blocked. If you have ever tried social selling through cold outreach via email or any other channel, you know that it's pretty brutal and conversion rates might be low. So our tool helps to increase these conversion rates and streamline experimentation with LinkedIn, because this platform is mostly overlooked, especially when it comes to B2B sales. And we have some interesting features that are very suitable for you if you have a sales team from 5 to 6 people and more. Basically, we allow you to use unlimited number of mailboxes, connect almost unlimited amount of LinkedIn accounts that you can use, and then you can manage your whole sales team from one place. So let's say if you have a lot of sales reps that have some online presence and you're not using their resource in your corporate world or in your startup, you can just connect all of them to our platform and then leverage the idea of that you can use their accounts and what they already gained in order to increase your sales. So let me jump real quick to the demo and show you how it looks. This is a production version of the system. As you can see here, we start with showing you some conversion rates. This is one of our dashboards that we're using to sell this platform itself. The numbers here are pretty good. So this number is the amount of accepted connections, which is around 30% on average between ourselves and some of our customers. So out of 10 people you reach out, 3 of them are accepting your connection. Then we have the reply rate, which is pretty important, which is around 30% too. So 30% of people that you are sending connection to will actually reply to your message, and then you can engage into conversation like that. Of course, you might ask the question, how many people I can outreach to using this platform? Of course, it depends heavily on the limitation of the LinkedIn platform itself. So by this month, you can send up to 800 connection requests from one account. You multiply this number by the amount of accounts you have on your team, and then you receive a pretty good audience. In combination with LinkedIn Sales Navigator or any other software that you use to scrap contacts and then get LinkedIn on board for your company, you can pretty much reach out to thousands of people a month and then have a quite good conversations and quite good conversion rates. So the most impressive thing, in my opinion, about this particular platform is that it allows you to streamline experimentation. So it's not like a stupid standard where you have just a simple sequence of messaging that you can use. Here you can do A/B tests on different kind of nodes. Every node represents an action in the target platform, so you can, of course, divide your audience as much as you want. You can customize any connection request message or any message that you send. And depending on user actions and interaction with your account, you can also do other actions. So for example, if you're sending a connection request and someone is accepting your connection request, you can move forward and then follow up on your messaging sequences and then write them more, endorse their skills. You can send them emails, and then you can make the person to reply to you, and then they typically say no, but when they say yes, you can also just go forward and send them something pitchy. So at most, we help companies to integrate this solution in their sales engineering toolbox if they have any. If they don't have any, this is becoming their main source. And also we help companies to collect these lists, which we are pretty creative about, and then just streamline it through the platform. Of course, platform has all the necessary integrations that you need. We support webhooks, so if you have any other additional software like CRM systems, ERP systems, different cookie traction systems, you can integrate all of that with this platform. So long story short, we help to automate LinkedIn outreach sales and email sales, and this is the tool that is designed for it. We'll be happy to answer any questions that you might have.
I'll start with the first question. How much does it cost?
It depends on the amount of accounts you buy. The cheapest layer is $100 per month.
All right. Who else? You already asked one. All right. Behind him, you.
So I guess my question would be more about like what's your plans for like integrations? I do sales myself, and usually the biggest thing that we always look for is how to integrate with all the other tools that we have to use between LinkedIn, our website, bringing in leads, the CRM that we have, and bringing in leads. The marketing system that we use to send out other types of marketing info. How does all that tie? Can we get this all tied together?
So yeah, there are two components.
So
the question is about integrations. Yeah, we support two-sided integrations. The first one is API integration. So when something happens in your systems, we can take action in our system, and vice versa. We have webhooks mechanism. So through any platform like Zapier or your own code that you have on your site, you can basically scrap all the events that are coming. Like if connection is accepted, you will receive a notification through webhook or anything else, send messaging request, etc. So basically, yeah, you can scrap all the data from this platform and put it in your platform.
Is that something that you guys provide, or is that something we would do on our own?
Yeah, we provide integration services. Yeah, we can integrate it for you.
All right, Elias.
Yeah, building on the integrations question, is there any path? Do you see any path for creating like AI-powered chatbots on LinkedIn by integrating into OpenAI, so you can kind of process a custom response in the message?
We tried this approach with comments and messaging. We can't see any improvement of conversion rates.
Can't see. Sorry, what's that last part? Can't see any.
We can't see any improvement of conversion rate. Yes, please.
You do a segmentation in your builder based on where they work, what their title is. So can you have branching logic if you're talking to a project manager versus engineering?
Yes, you can do any filtering inside the platform, and it really depends on how you put the list of prospects. So basically, you can put the list of prospects in many different ways. You can upload your CSV, you can upload your search link from LinkedIn Sales Navigator, or do whatever you want, and then you can set up filtering in the system or just upload that pre-filter. But if you are doing this, let's say you have a very broad search in LinkedIn Sales Navigator, we can do filtering. You can do filtering inside the system. You can filter by almost every single field that is provided by Sales Navigator.
Do you have an API?
Yeah.
Show them the lists.
Yeah, so basically list looks like this, and it really depends on what you're doing. So you have many different opportunities how you upload your lists, and all the lists are sorted. It really depends on the filtering you are setting up. So we prefer to upload already pre-filtered list of prospects, because it doesn't really make sense to go through all the people from LinkedIn Sales Navigator, because you're going to receive a lower conversion rate. So it really depends on the experimentation with a particular segment.
All right, Bruno, you're allowed now.
So what? So specifically geared towards email, what's your open rate? What's the conversion rate? What do you guarantee in conversion rate? So let's just say the industry standard is 5% on an email list of 1,000 people that are going to open it up. What's the conversion into sales? And does this type of platform guarantee or help the uptick with sales?
Of course, we cannot guarantee how well you are closing the deals. The only thing we can guarantee that you will do an outreach here. So we can guarantee that a virtual machine with your account will work, that you will send the amount of connection requests you will send every month. And then conversion really depends on the quality of your LinkedIn profile. It depends on the quality of messaging, and it depends on the segment that you are choosing. Because sometimes on LinkedIn, you might find segments that never reply to you. For example, bar owners. Like, why bar owners would go on LinkedIn? There is no reason for that.
Do you have a baseline though, as far as like percentage?
So baseline is like acceptance request is 20 to 30%.
Okay.
Then reply rate is 30 to 35%, and then you close 5 to 6%, depending on how well you choose a segment.
All right, so I have a comment and a question. So I've got a pretty good LinkedIn following, almost 5,000 deep. Anyone here, if you're in the community, feel free to reach out. But my mailbox gets flooded with bullshit like this.
Yeah.
And it's upsetting to me that there's more tools to send more bullshit to me. So for those of us that are concerned about this, do you have any words of console, or is it just going to get worse?
Honestly speaking, I don't think that it's going to get worse, but if you are very concerned of receiving bullshit, just write fuck off. Because any automation tool, it will stop as soon as you reply, in the majority of cases.
So I'm going to tell you something I do, because that's not enough for me.
Okay.
That's not enough for me. I'll write people back. Someone goes, hey, you're doing great in Las Vegas. Would love to know more. I'm like, awesome. What do you like? And they don't respond. And like, that's sad. What I do is I put it on mute and I let them send me all of the messages they want, and then I don't pay attention to them. Would that hurt them?
No.
What would hurt them? Is there a way to hurt them?
So
I say I don't know them sometimes.
That's a very good question. If you are working with us, we don't care about you, because like you are one of the thousands of people, and even if you are not replying, we're not sending that manually. But people that are sending that manually, yeah, they will be in trouble, because they will need to log in to send you one message, second message, third message, then track the interaction in CRM system. So yeah, you will piss them off. If it's an automated platform like ourselves,
so I have to take your platform down. Got it. What other questions do we have?
Josh, I see that you eat solids and drink liquids and use words in sentences. We should have a meeting to discuss synergies.
I appreciate your acute observations.
Is there any other kind of file format uploads that you guys can take into the system, or is it just off filtering off of the different titles?
So we have several ways how you import data. First one is a CSV file. Second one is a LinkedIn saved search from LinkedIn Sales Navigator. If you don't have any, you can just use LinkedIn search like a regular one as a regular user. You can also upload. We have a browser extension that allows you to put all the people you need, but it's less efficient. So the majority of our customers and ourselves, we are either using CSV uploads or LinkedIn Sales Navigator. Because any other thing is less efficient.
What else we got?
Any other questions?
All right, LinkedIn bullshit. Let's. Good job. All right, everybody. So this has been fun. Raise your hand if you saw at least one presentation you thought was interesting. All right. We got a few hands that weren't raised. It's fine. Whatever. Discerning people have questions. If you would like to present, my email address, it's Josh, Josh, at big, like large, T as in Tom, B as in boy, like big technology builders, Josh at BigTB.com. It's also very easy to get a hold of me. If you shoot me an email, you'll probably hear back from Gabe. One of the things I really like about this session is Tech Alley is full of so many interesting people who have different reasons they might want to talk to each other, and we're all here, but we don't necessarily know who we're going to see. So I'm going to ask by a raise of hands, because the last little section here is just going to be meet and greet, chat with each other. Raise your hand if you're building something and you like talking about it. All right, all right, all right. Hands down. Raise your hand if you like hearing what people are building and you'd like to, oh, okay, that's great, that's great. So what I'm going to suggest, just as we wrap up here, is if you have something you want to talk to someone about, come on down and stand over here. And if you want to hear about something, over here. Let's go, people, let's go. This is interactive. I'm forcing the networking. We're going to do this. If it fails terribly, I won't do it next month. And if it works great, we'll keep doing it. That's right. We're all here to party down. Okay, so builders over here. Pigs that want to learn over here, I guess? I don't know. All right. Let's all line off and score at each other. All right, that's good. All right, great. Well, all right, now we'll get closer to each other. Now walk towards each other. All right, reach out a hand and see who grabs it. Tal, hi, I'm Josh. All right, everybody, reach out and grab a hand. Grab a hand and start talking. Okay, I did everything I could now. Everyone go ahead and talk and mingle. And thank you so much for coming to demo time. I know, right?